director and choir director for Rossville Junior, Senior High, and grade school. I am very proud to present your children this evening for 5th and 6th grade band. They're doing great things. I'm learning that this microphone's a little loose, so bear with me. And as you can see, I have an injured wing tonight, so you'll have to, they've been doing great following my left hand that I'm not used to. Some of the things you're going to hear tonight. They're going to be working and showing off their dynamic contrast. That means volume control, right? Some of you are going to be playing softly, and sometimes we're going to be playing loudly, right? Other things is rhythm control. Obviously, we want to hear the pitch control, which is what makes us understand and hear what the song's supposed to sound like. One of the reasons that we use the pedagogy that we do to teach music is because they're general songs that we kind of all learned as children, right? The first song, for instance, is "Oh Susanna" by Stephen Foster. Great American composer, one of the first ones known from the Americas back in the Wild West time. Lived up in Philadelphia for a time. I think he was born in Baltimore. We use that song so when they're practicing and they're not in band and they're at home, they know what the sound's supposed to sound like when they're playing, right? We all know kind of "Oh Susanna," "Camptown Races," all the other songs like that. So you'll kind of notice that that's what the songs we use for this. It is a little bit of a short concert tonight. We're only playing 3 pieces per band, but they're going to play fantastic. And then I have a few awards. So without further ado, this is the 5th grade Rossville Grade School Band.
Traveled all throughout the United States, including Topeka and Manhattan, your K-State fan, that they actually had a March commission, and you hear them play it every home game in the pregame. So again, we're trying to expose them to good music, use other music to kind of give them a foundation. The next thing that I have for them is some awards, some very well-earned awards. And sometimes it's like herding cats, but you know.
Okay, I'm going to save my voice a little bit. For the 5th grade awards, All right, so first, I'd like to recognize the outstanding woodwind performer for the 5th grade. This person always comes with a good attitude and a good work ethic and always has a smile on her face, and I just really appreciate that. So could I have Blythe Insel come on up? Okay, I feel like they're sneaking peeks, so I'm gonna turn this this way. Next up, we have an outstanding brass performer. This young lady has also a great attitude. She seems to be always prepared. She practices well. She's a leader in her section, which is exactly what we need in a 5th grade band, honestly, because this is where it begins. The little seeds of leadership as it grows and everything else. So, Abigail Hogan, would you please come up? Next, we have an outstanding percussionist performer. This one was really hard. We have a great percussion group this year. I can't wait for them to get better and better. Before you know it, they're going to be in high school and leading the way, playing some awesome music for us. The outstanding percussionist, please welcome Parker Graves up here. Next, we have the most improved musician. So one of the things that I get to enjoy about my job is I give these kids basically fancy toys, and they make noise with it. And I'm sure you guys love that part when you first take it home, right? It's almost as bad as a recorder, which I call Satan's whistle, but that's a different story. But they start out with these instruments they don't know how to play, they don't know how to make sound with, and before you know it, they're controlling it. And they're making music, they're actually making songs, so that's wonderful. But the most improved musician out of the 5th grade this year, again, very hard choice, but Roland Lee's. This is so confusing right now. All right, and we have 2 more. The first up is best attitude of the year. Again, this is what we want. We want somebody to come in with a good personality, a good attitude, a willingness to learn. Even if they make mistakes, they're going to make mistakes. Obviously, when they get these instruments, they're not going to know how to play them. They're going to have a lot of wrong notes, wrong rhythms. But as long as they have a good attitude, a willingness to learn, a willingness to be taught, that's what we want. So, Kyla Monroe, best attitude of the year. All right, lastly, but not least, the most prepared musician. So this goes to the person who I can tell when they come in to play a song that we worked on the previous day that we kind of use as a warm-up the next day. They've practiced overnight, they've gone through some of the rhythms, they've gone through some of the notes. Even if they don't have a chance to actually play on the instrument, what I tell them is to at least kind of figure through, kind of count the rhythms. It takes 5-10 minutes a day, but it really does help them improve. This Most Prepared Musician Award for the 5th grade goes to Ryder Mitchell. All right, we have one more song for you from the 5th grade class. It is Ode to Joy by Ludwig van Beethoven. All right, y'all probably heard his name before. Again, it's a little shorter. It's an excerpt of the full symphony, but one of the masterworks that hopefully one day they might be playing in a bigger group. So, last Ode to Joy.
Well, let's go.
Okay, next up we have a 6th grade band. I'll ask them to stand in just one moment. But again, one of the things that we're teaching them constantly is the next step, right? To be prepared for the next step. Just like in life, we need to always prepare for the next position. Whenever we're trying to get a better position at work, we just have to work up to that position so we can show that we're qualified. And it starts here in band and music too. The first piece we're going to play tonight is called Ezekiel Saw the Wheel. It's a short little number based on an African spiritual. Again, trying to expose them to different works and styles of music, making them and challenging them to play those styles of music, emulate those styles of music. Really excited for them to play tonight. This is the 6th grade band. Very, very nice job. All right, we got some awards for these guys. They've been great. I went through these earlier and messed all the order up because I was trying to make sure I had everyone. All right, so, hang on now. The first award goes to the Outstanding Woodwind Performer for 6th grade. We're always looking for a good attitude, like we said before. I feel like we have to be a copycat telling you about all of this. But again, this person comes in, great attitude, willing to work, good work ethic. Good. Brittany Clark, please come on. All right, and on to our brass. This was hard. They have a little bit of a bigger section. The Outstanding Brass Performer for this year in the 6th grade band. I chose this person, again, great attitude, willingness to work, fun to be around, enjoys making music, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do. James Lewis. And Outstanding Percussionist. Percussion's a little hard. Not only do they have to learn how to keep rhythm, use the sticks and everything else, but they also have to learn all the different instruments. So when you're a percussionist, you have to learn snare, you have to learn bass drum, you have to learn timpani, bells, gong, chimes, cymbals, all of it. You have to know exactly how to handle, hold, crash, all the things, and be ready for that each time. This person's had a great willingness to learn. She's been a leader in this section. She has never backed down from being asked to play one of those instruments. So, Marcy Chupkins. They deserve all the applause. You want to get more applause? So, growth. We're trying to get growth out of them. We're trying to challenge them and see if they rise to those challenges. Also, constantly, unfortunately, my job is not to tell them always what they do right, but what they do wrong. So when they respond to that with a good attitude, a willingness to learn, and they continue to grow, that's how they receive this next award, which is the most improved musician for the 6th grade. Grant Whitmore. Supposed to move it, but I can't help it because you're used to it. Best attitude of the year. This was really hard in this group. The 6th grade has been really, really wonderful. They've risen to the occasion this year. We had to backtrack just a little bit to clean a few things, and then we just started rolling along with no problems. But the best attitude of this year, I'd like to give to Lily Ingram. Lily's probably playing one of the hardest brass instruments there are. It's impossible almost. It was her first learning to hold the pitch right where you want it and to hear it, play it, and then, oh, by the way, try to play it really nicely. She's very, very good. She's going to go far with that. All right, last one for the 6th grade, the most prepared musician. This again goes back to, like I said, with the 5th grade, someone who's coming in, ready to practice, has gone over the notes, and we can continue going forward instead of taking 2 or 3 steps backwards. This year's person receiving the most prepared musician is Natalie Gann. If you don't know, we get a little nervous up here too and say wrong names sometimes. One more hand for 6th grade band. The last piece we're going to play for you tonight for this concert is by Peter Ilich Tchaikovsky. You might recognize that name around Christmas, the Nutcracker. He's famous for that. He also wrote this piece called March Slav. It's a very kind of primal piece based off of like the Eastern Europe, Western Russian kind of style of music. Once again, exposing them to a different style and making them play a different style and showing that musical growth. So lastly, March Slav.
Kids to get to the point that they're at. We have a few refreshments over there I hope you take part in, and we'll see you next year.